Welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to be building this simple project to practicalize our HTML and CSS skill. Now, this is a simple landing page website for a school or anything. Now, it's just a very simple website that I just want us to use to practicalize what we have learned. Now, this is what we'll be building. And let's go to our desktop, create a new folder, let's call it school websites. Now we drag and drop that folder to our VS Code or any favorite code editor of your choice. Yes, I trust the author. I'm going to enlarge this. So in that file, I'm going to create let's create the home page, which is the index.html, and you can decide to create a folder for your CSS files and create a new style.css. This will be your style, and your HTML file, you bootstrap your code, just press shift, you press tab, and can call this coding university. And if you look at the website, you realize that we have the header. This is the header. So let's start section by section. Let's start with the header. So let's come to this body and let's define the header. This is header. The header has an H1 with coding university. So if you save this, you open with live server to see it changing in real time. Open with live server and you see it here that okay, we have the code university. Now let's go ahead and style it. So to style it, let's just come and link our CSS file using link, and since you have CSS file style.css. So if you save now, any style that you write in your CSS file, it's going to be reflected in this HTML file. So let's go ahead to style our HTML page. The first thing I want us to do is the general body. It's always good to reset everything to normal. Either you use this body tag or you use this asterisk to select all elements, but let's use body. So it's either use body or asterisk to select all the elements. So let's set the margin so that there will not be any margin disturbing us to 0. So this will be applied to all the elements on the page, and the padding to 0. So that's font family. Let's set it to an inbuilt font family. So having done that, let's now go ahead to style our header. I can see the header has a background something like green. So you select the header using the name of the tag. So you can go ahead to select the background color. You can just use FOSI F50, and you can set the color. This is the color of the text. Set it to white. Set the color to white. The padding, space in between the element and the child element, parent element and child element, set that to 20 pixels. The text alignment, we want it to be at the center. So if you save it now, you realize that our website is taking shape, and that is the header. We have been able to design the header, and now let's move ahead to the navigation. We can see that the next one is navigation bar. So to design the navigation bar using HTML and CSS only, come back to your HTML page. After the header, you then set your navigation. So your navigation will take the tag nav, and you're going to having an unordered list, and in this you're going to be having a list item, and in this list item we're going to be having our link, and this link is for us to navigate between one page and the other. So this is going to be our home page. Let's just put it hash, and we have our home here. Let's just duplicate this same one, and the link, let's use about us here. Let's make this to be academics. Let's make this to be academics. This to be admissions. This to be admissions. Alt shift down arrow. Let's make this to be contact us. Contact us, and let's see. Let me just show you link in action. So if I create a new page and make this to be about us, about.html, and I save. So I bootstrap about us. Let me just copy what I have here, the header with the navigation bar. Let me just make this to be about, so you see the difference. And I link the CSS too. Let me link the CSS style, save it. Now this home page should bring me to the about us page. You can see how the current folder pick the about.html, and in the about.html I want to come back to my home page, then come to index. So the a link is used to navigate between one page and the other. So if I save now, I definitely has two pages. So I come back to the one I'm building, I reload. Of course I still need to style this, so this will take me to the about page. You can see that I'm currently the about page. If I click the home page, it takes me back to the home page, and that is our A tag in action. So now let's go ahead to style our navigation bar. To style our navigation bar, let's first pick the nav tag. So nav tag, we pick the nav tag. And we give it a, you can see that the background is black, so let's give it the background color of black. Now the color is white, the color of the text is white, so let's give it a padding so that it will not be closely linked. So I save this now, close this, so it can be seen, you can see. So I don't want it to be too close to the, give it a padding of 10 pixels. Save it, you can see that it gives some space. Now I want it to be on the same line. Now I want to remove these dots, so you know that this navigation bar is not the one that has these dots, it's the another list that have the dots. So I am going to select the another list. So I set nav bar, a type of a nav bar is another list. So I'm going to set the list type to what? To none. So if I save that, the list type is gone. So of course I don't want any margin. I want the margin to be 0. I don't want any padding because I already set the padding. I usually use the parent to set the padding. So I want the display to be flex. I want the display to be flex so that everything will be on the same line. So I want the display to be flex so that everything is on the same line now. Now I also want to align it to the center, vertically align to the center, align item to horizontally justify content. See that everything we have learned so far, it's useful at this current stage. So you can see that it's now in the middle. It's now in the middle. So now we are still working on it. And now let's test flex wrap. This flex wrap, I think it's a new concept that we are just learning. This flex wrap is just in case the line is not, the space is not enough to take all the element, then the next element should go to the next line. That's the meaning of this flex wrap. So now we are good with this. Now let's go ahead to style our list item. list item, we just want them to have spacing in this place. This way they are closely linked together. It's not right, so it's not good. Now let's space it. So we do that using the list item. So because if you space the another list, it's going to be like this one is a list item, this one is so the one is space between this one and this one. The whole of this thing is on another list too. I'm going to use the list item to space it. Just select a child, list item as a child of navigation bar. Keep the margin right so that there will be space in between the elements. Keep margin right 20 pixels. So if you save it, you see that we have space in between our elements now. So what you now need to do is, you know that this our link is not nice the way it's blue and it's underlined. So to style that, you just select your link using A. So of course you don't want any link to appear on the page. You don't want it to be blue and you don't want it to be underlined. So set the color to white. Set the color to white, and to remove the underline you use text decoration. Text decoration to none. So now you see that our website is taking shape. Now one thing I want you to notice now is, if you now bring down your browser, you see that it's not nice. This contact is coming to the next line. So why not just make it to be displayed on a separate line when it's on a mobile screen? So to do that, we set our media query. So our media query is media screen, and it's not just screen. You want the maximum and you want the maximum width. Maximum width to be 768 because that's the 767 pixel. That is the size of the screen that is mobile. So also you set you want this to be this flex, this navigation list UL. You want this flex direction to be a column when it's on small screen, but now the flex direction is row by default. So when it's on small screen, I want every of the element to be displayed on a separate line. So just set flex direction to column. So if I save it, now to see that in action, you know, with media query to not be applied to the screen. So if you reduce, you see that we have it on a separate line, which is nice. So let's just add some spacing at the top. So that we select that with list item. Just imagine top, margin top, bottom. Let's do bottom. Let's just do very small. Let's see how it goes. Reduce it here. I think it's good. I can just make it 5. Can just make it 5. 5 is okay. So that means we are good to go. So having done that, we are done with our navigation bar. So the next step is now to go to our main body tag. So